I appreciate that.
So this is
You
great.
could,
Watch me get your hand. Yeah, camera.
Are we starting
Get
again?
started again now.
Okay.
I am curious, so I'm.
Well, let me first introduce, this is Shirley, the person that you've been listening to for a little bit of time. So now we've asked her to join us so that you can see what,
And
and we'll
thank
have the
you.
conversation. So please go ahead with your question.
So after the service and after you went back to the farm, so what happened during the 60s? Where were you living? I'm trying to fill in like where you were working and where you were living and.
well, we were on the farm,
During the 60s?
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah.
Selling eggs.
I mean, that was our primary job.
Primary job, right?
You'd pick up odds and ends, you know, like I did a little bartending, she did some waitress work.
Uh-huh.
Is that in town here?
Cliff.
I worked
Cliff,
at Cliffs,
Uh-huh.
and stuff like that, you know,
and I made a, I don't know,
mainly for,
when did I work at Frank's? Sometime.
For dollar bills.
Maybe
No,
before
I understand,
Cliffs.
yeah.
Well, you gotta eat, you gotta pay the
Well,
gas bill.
No,
you gotta cook.
Yeah.
Mother's
You gotta
Day was
pay
the
bills.
best day for a waitress for tips.
Not anymore.
Yeah, that's right, because
Well, I
everybody,
mean, you were busy.
Now,
Yeah.
you worked at Cliffs in the 70s?
I'm sorry?
You
No,
worked for
no.
Cliffs in the 70s?
no.
60s.
60s.
I was gonna say, because I worked there in the 70s,
Yeah,
and
no.
it was hopping when Cliff and Tommy's was there. I mean,
Yeah.
people would come out from Chicago to.
Yeah,
Oh,
that
well,
restaurant.
like I say, like on Mother's Day especially, you were so busy.
Mother's and Easter was a good day.
Yeah,
too.
but Mother's Day was, it
Mother's
seemed like,
Day was the
was-
most because,
was the
yeah,
most,
because
yeah.
everybody came out and took mom
Yeah.
for a
right,
treat. She didn't have to
Right,
cook. One
yeah,
day of the year,
yeah.
you didn't have to cook.
right.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
coming to Monee used to be like going for a drive in the country, I think, or something like that, no?
I
Or,
don't understand what he
I
said.
guess so.
Yeah, we talked to somebody else and they said
Driving.
Monee was almost kind of a destination. There were quite a few restaurants and taverns and stuff, so you almost came to Monee to have a good time, kind of.
Yeah.
Do you remember it being like
Well, I
that?
can remember, yeah, like a lot of people used to come to Cliffs.
Uh-huh. They did, I
Maybe they
remember
still
that.
do now, this place, I don't know, but
No,
back when
they
we
don't.
were younger, you know, there was, I know a lot of people from Peatone did. They came up,
To Cliffs,
Yeah.
Cliffs
Yeah.
was quite a place, and then when
See-
he added the Chinese part on.
well, his father, and then he was out there too, what they called Midway City.
Where's that? What's
on-
that?
On 45.
On 45.
I have no idea what that is. What is that? Tell me
Oh,
about
yeah.
it.
It's, well, the building, I don't know if it's the same exact building, but there is a place there yet.
So it's on 45, south of Monee Manhattan Road?
Oh, yeah,
Oh, yeah.
oh, yeah, quite a lot.
Like
It's in
down by
Pinto.
Peatone?
Pinto Township.
See, that's why I think a lot of people from Peatone came up to Monee, because they used to go out there.
They
Oh.
used to go out there and dance and
You know.
party out
you
there.
know,
And they called it Midway?
Midway
the
City.
Peatone, Joliet Road,
Yeah, yeah.
okay. It's just a little bit south of that road on 45.
Oh, I think I know where you're talking. It's a big building.
Yeah, but it isn't the same building, but that's the area right there.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, every once in a while you'll drive through the country and I'll see something like that, like an old roadhouse or
Mhm.
something. So that place was hopping too then, huh?
Oh,
Well, they had that place before they got,
I don't, I just knew it was
before they
there.
came
I
to
didn't go
Monee,
out
Cliff's
there,
did.
'cause I was too
Cliff's
young.
dad had it.
Yeah, I was too young.
That's where Cliff's dad had a
See,
restaurant.
Cliff was
Right.
about, he was a little bit older than I am.
Mhm.
He's passed away already, but, you know what, his father was,
And
well,
he took it over from
Was his
his
name
father.
George? Was that George Mike? No, what was his father's name?
I don't know.
Where did they come from? Because that's not a real German name, is it?
well, they came out of Chicago, I think,
Yeah.
originally, you know.
Uh-huh.
What the, Cliff? I can't think of his name, and I should know it.
Yeah.
I
It'll
don't,
come to you probably.
Charlie.
Charlie, okay, Charlie. There's a building just south of Peatone. It's a little bit, you spent a
oh,
lot
it
of
used
time
to
in
be
Peatone.
Miami Gardens, you mean?
This big old brick building that was, is that what it's called?
Is Edwards? Yeah, Edwards now?
I
On
know,
the east
just,
side of 50?
yes, just a little bit south of where the Pearl Auto place is there.
No, that's probably what she's
Yeah.
talking
they-
about.
They used to call that Miami Gardens.
Really, and that was a restaurant, a tavern kind of place always?
Yeah, I think more tavern than restaurant.
Now, I heard about that place, that yeah, this is probably, but that Al Capone used to go there, and that there was a garage where you could drive in, And then he had like an escape route under the railroad tracks and out that direction.
Oh, I
Oh, I
don't,
don't know about
I don't know
that.
about that. I've heard about Al
But
Capone
it-
being there, but I don't know about the escape route.
We've heard stories about that
Yeah.
place, you know.
Yeah.
Do you know if they're true? I mean, do you?
No,
I never heard about the escape route or
Yeah.
if,
we never experienced them.
or.
You
if
never
it's-
met him yourself, huh?
No.
You never met Al Capone out there.
You know, the only time I was ever there, I think it was called Miami Gardens then yet. We took dancing lessons
Really?
Yeah.
Ballroom dancing kind of thing? Waltzes
from
and cha-chas?
Arthur Murray Studio in Feet.
Was it 6 weeks?
Ah.
6 or 8, I forget now.
So were you good dancers after that?
Oh, I tell you.
I mean, it didn't hurt us.
I love that answer. That doesn't tell
Wait,
anything.
wait. Kinda rough.
Was there 6 couples or 8?
6.
6, yeah.
But you know, I think back in the day when people had weddings, it was a dance.
Arthur Murray.
Yeah. Yeah.
Was it
Anyway.
Arthur Murray?
And we stopped
course.
there a few times to practice our steps that we had learned that night.
Oh, okay.
Because
Oh,
we were
I-
off of Peatone that,
So you went down to Kankakee to the Arthur Murray, and on the way back you stopped at the
We
Miami
might stop
Gardens.
in Miami Gardens or some other place, you know, and
because.
have a couple beers and
Cha-cha and
dance
a
the
little bit.
waltz
That's
Oh.
and
you,
the
yeah.
practice our
swing
what we learned.
step and,
So who were your chums? Who were the folks that you hung around with who went to Arthur Murray?
Well,
with you?
oh no, that was different group. I don't know if there'd be, my sister and her husband, first husband, they were in the group, and Lois and Jerry Benoit, Lyle and Bonnie Carson. Oh, and Jack and Marie Christensen.
A lot of these people are gone, or passed
And I
away,
guess us, huh?
I think
But
so.
is that 6 couples?
Yeah.
But getting back to friends, see, that's where I know Beverly quite well from, because her and her husband, they used to be at.
Beverly
Burmeister.
Burmeister, okay.
They used to be at Cliffs.
Oh,
Sundays.
okay, so
On
that
Sunday
you
nights.
chummed around with them at the.
Yeah,
Right,
somewhat.
They were
Uh-huh.
part of the,
Alan and
part
I
of the
were
group,
kind of friends.
yeah,
Yeah,
they were
yeah.
part of the group.
There's a lot of my friends have passed away, I mean,
I know, that happens.
well, I'm the only one, see, I'm lucky to be alive, believe me.
Well, you
You
were
know.
doing fantastically well too,
Well, I got this vision problem, but otherwise
yeah.
you know, I'm not nearly what I used to be.
So
Run out
when's
of
your
gas pretty
birthday?
fast.
When do you hit the 90 mark?
15th of May.
And then right after that,
This
you
year?
hit 60 years of marriage.
61.
61. That is so awesome.
It is.
That
Your
really-
birthday's the day before mine, mine's the 16th.
Really?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, it's close
Well,
to.
we're planning on having a cake at church, so
All right,
you
we'll
can
be
enjoy
there.
it.
Yes.
My
Ice cream
birthday.
too?
I'm sorry?
Ice cream too?
I don't know, we hadn't thought
We
about
haven't thought of that yet.
You're 90 years old, you need ice cream too.
All right.
Whipped cream, Jerry's on top.
You are doing fantastically well. You might not be able to see as well as you used to, but
I can't. But I can still see. I'm thankful for that.
yeah.
You know, I can still see that he's there. I couldn't recognize him.
Hmm.
I can see she's there as well. But
He does take a capsule or a pill anyway, twice a day it is specifically for macular.
Uh-huh.
And I think it's, at least it hasn't gotten
seems
any
to
worse.
kind of maintaining what it is.
Yeah.
Have you noticed, and this is off the subject, but have you noticed since your eyesight's gotten worse that your other senses are getting, I mean, do you recognize more when you hear people's voices and things like that?
Well, I can't really tell that. See, I only have one eye.
Really?
This is an artificial eye because
What happened to you?
I had a piece of steel in it when I was in early 50s,
Uh-huh.
and I lost it,
I never knew that.
Repairing a corn picker.
Corn picker, working on the farm.
You know, farm work is dangerous. You hear more
Well.
things happen.
See, and then
You didn't wear goggles like you should have.
Yeah, yeah.
in the 1950s, I mean, I imagine they had safety glasses, but we didn't have them on the farm.
Yeah, yeah.
Maybe they didn't even have them, I don't know. But you
That
didn't.
happened to my grandfather too. He worked for a Cyclone Fence Company
Yeah,
and a staple, right in the eye, and so he lost the sight in that eye
Wow.
from then on.
and
Yeah.
this little piece of steel that I hit, that got in there, went in the lens of my eye, my left eye.
Oh,
Well, the lens of the eye is what they change today for cataract surgery.
yeah, yeah.
But it was difficult then.
But they didn't do no cataract surgery
Right.
in the early 50s.
Right.
So
At least they didn't where he went.
No, it took me to Chicago and, I forget, on Michigan Avenue someplace. You know, I went to Chicago Heights to a eye doctor, and he took me downtown. You know, I went to the hospital for, I think, 5 days,
Yeah.
you know, and, but anyhow, that's the way it goes.
Well, I'll tell you what, I mean, I've known you for, you know, my whole
Few
life.
days,
I
huh?
never, yeah, a few days, and I never knew that, never would have known that. And so you made adjustments and compensated for it very well.
Well, I got along very well.
Mhm.
Really, I was very fortunate to have it.
Well, I mean, you think about it, you know, you were saying that there weren't as many safety things in the early 50s, but you think about Matt Schoenbeck, that was on a farm accident that happened to him, and it's just, in a moment, something can happen.
Oh, yeah,
You know,
yeah.
just changes
Well,
your
Well,
life.
accidents can happen
What
any
happened?
place.
What happened to him?
Matt was, this is what, 2 years ago now?
Oh, yeah.
He was on the farm and they were doing.
About that, I think, 2 years.
Yeah, about 2 years ago, and they had some sort of a pulley attached to the truck and they were pulling something out.
Something
And
broke.
yeah, it snapped and it came through the back of the cab and hit him, and he just came home from the hospital this week.
Oh,
They said he's home
I
now.
think it hurt, he hit him in the head,
I
didn't he?
didn't
And it
realize,
has- Yeah,
just this week, oh.
just this
wow.
week.
Yeah,
He's been in
young-
rehab and things like that.
he's a young man.
He's a very young man, yeah, in his 30s, or, yeah, Patty's son,
Patty Schoenbeck, yeah.
Yeah, Schoenbeck's son.
Hmm.
Yeah,
That's a tragedy.
yeah, yeah,
I'm fortunate, well,
you were very fortunate, yeah.
like I say, most of my life I can see in a rear view mirror, because it's behind me.
There you go, you don't look at this one, but you look at that one,
That's-
that one works good, yeah, that's good.
That's, life is full of mysteries.
Ups and downs. Mhm.
Yep.
You never know what tomorrow's gonna
Did
bring.
you have children?
No.
No, we do that.
Did you have pets? You worked
Not
in the animal
anymore.
Yes.
hospital,
Not anymore.
but you did?
I mean, at one time,
Yes,
when we were out on the farm, we had a big,
German Shepherd.
light German Shepherd. I
Uh-huh.
went and rescued him from the animal hospital in Chicago Heights.
Oh, you had to go all the way to Chicago Heights Animal Hospital to get your dog?
Well, I don't know how I ended up there, but his
Yeah.
name was Lobo.
Yeah,
Very smart dog,
nice.
very smart dog.
So it seems like people are either dog people or cats people, so you must be dog people.
Well, I brought a couple little kittens home too.
You always need a cat on a farm.
That's,
Yeah.
that's true.
Yeah,
That's true.
I can remember the one.
Whatever your
I called it
choice is.
Stinky for some reason, I don't know, but it was a cute little thing.
And his name was Stinky?
Yeah, I'm smiling. But Lobo, I don't know, he was just very smart. He was very protective of me.
Mm-hmm.
If I came out the door, he was going with me. You know, if I went any place on the farm, and then when I go back in the house, well, he'd
He's right back there
yeah,
with you.
right there laying again. But you could not, like if it was gonna be really cold, you could not get him to come in the porch.
No?
No.
Huh.
So we put a bunch of bales of straw around on the south side of the house so he could make like a nest.
So he was an outdoor dog and he knew it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, he's big.
I mean, even I could not pull him to come in.
Isn't
Come
that
in for
something?
tonight, Lobo, it's gonna be warm. No, he would not.
Oh, maybe he was very protective. Maybe that's how he protected his family, was to
Yeah,
stay
yeah.
outside and stay.
So, you know,
stand
he
guard.
didn't wanna be caged, I guess, or, you know, closed in.
That could be, maybe he was
Confined.
part wolf.
Yeah, confined. So what we ended up started doing is putting some bales of straw around that was kind of, he could get in between those bales and
Get a little
get
bit
warm.
warmer.
Yeah.
Did there used to be coyotes around in the area here? I mean, there are some now, but
Yeah, I don't remember
I don't
back
remember
then.
them so much, but we
No.
had some red fox, you know.
red fox.
Yeah, because they used to have fox hunts.
Yeah, they used to have fox hunts.
Who used to have fox
The
hunts?
farmers.
Really?
The sportsman
What?
club, I think,
Yeah.
organized
You
it.
mean like where they put the red coats on and sit on their horse and blow the horn? Not
Oh,
that kind of fox hunt, huh?
If it was, I didn't see it.
I don't know how often they had it, but they
But
would cover, quite a few men
sections.
Uh-huh.
would cover, how many sections or whatever. They'd walk them like on a Sunday afternoon or something.
Yeah, that's usually on Sundays.
Yeah.
And
And I
they-
don't, like I say, I don't remember how often they did this.
Yeah,
Oh,
just probably when the population got too high and they were bothering, because they would come for the chickens, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think so, yeah.
there'd be,
But they,
I think they took about, I never was a hunter, but about 4 sections of
Uh-huh.
land, which was, a section of land is 640 acres. So that'd be 40.
yeah, but they would so far apart and
And
they'd
then
walk,
they'd start on the outside,
and they'd walk.
and they'd walk toward the center.
Oh.
And then if they'd see the foxes, they could kill them.
They just shoot them? They have
Yeah.
shotguns and shoot them? Did they do something with the pelts or just,
Well, I don't know what they did with them,
uh-huh,
but I think they turned them in,
Yeah, I
to the
think they
county.
did too. I
maybe
think-
there was a bounty on them or
I
something?
think
Right,
so.
I think
Yeah.
that's what they did.
Yeah, yeah.
But I believe it was the sportsman clubs that did this.
My brother used to
Oh,
go.
okay, so this was
back-
for fun, really, not for, they did this for sport as opposed to that the foxes were kind of a menace?
Well, I think
Or
both.
maybe a little bit
Well,
both?
probably, yeah, I don't think
Both.
they did it just to, there was a reason why they did it,
Yeah.
yeah.
Do you know there's a fox in town? There's a red fox in town.
Is there really?
Yeah, we've been seeing him for months. People around the village are seeing him here and there. Margaret, when we were walking, we saw
At
him
a
out.
grocery store, huh?
Huh?
It's not a grocery store.
No, it's not a grocery store, it's a fox. We're working on that still. We're gonna turn in all our foxes and see if we can get us a grocery store. But,
Oh.
Well, I think there used to be a Red Fox grocery store at one time.
was there?
Yeah,
believe
that's where
it.
it's coming from, I think that's.
There was a
That's-
Red
that's what
Fox
I'm talking
hardware
about.
store too, I've seen.
A
I
Red
think.
Fox hardware
I
store?
think so. Lumber,
Holy smokes, I never heard of that one.
something like that, I think. I think that there was. I'm
Did
not
you
sure.
hear of that?
Margaret's gonna show you the picture of the fox. We took the picture of the
Yeah,
fox.
it was right up by this, where
Oh,
Kathy Koppel
It's
lives.
real little there.
Well,
Yeah.
it's been blown up, it's pretty far away.
It was
Oh,
a ways
I
away
see.
from us, but it's just last week we saw it.
Yeah,
We-
we
other
saw it
people-
in the
You've seen it.
cemetery.
Yeah, I was with her when she took that picture.
Yeah,
In the
Yeah.
cemetery.
In
we
the
saw it in
cemetery.
the
Yeah.
cemetery and then walk in and we watched it walk all along.
Oh, the
that,
cemetery out here?
Yeah, right here.
Somebody must feed it.
Well, you
Well-
know, it was kind of carousing along these wood piles along the edge, so
Yeah.
maybe he's keeping the rodent
Did you have a good
population
crowd this
Well,
Saturday
that's
for cleaning,
possible
or?
too.
We had
You
the
can find
usual
rabbits.
suspects, Darren and Gary and me and Judy Pop and
Oh, yeah.
Bing.
Flo and Alice. Bing came over though. Bing Bisbing came over and helped.
Did he really?
Yes, he did. He was big help.
Good for
Yeah,
him.
big
Oh, that
help.
was nice.
Yeah, it
Yeah, there
was.
was just too many things going on.
It's tough. It's very,
Saturday,
very
I
well,
think-
and there were
well, I
two
brought-
memorial
I
services.
brought my angel eggs for the funeral luncheon, but we had a 1-year birthday party
Oh, so
to
you
go
had to
to.
go. Well, by the time I got to the table, there were no. The person next to me had 2 eggs on their plate, but there were none on the table.
Well, that isn't the
so-
worst of it, because Sandy told me that somebody, it was a young man, he had like 4 of them.
Yeah, well, there were none
Why?
left for me.
Why
Four
did they
halves.
throw them away?
Yeah.
Well, no, they didn't get thrown away, but, they
Yeah.
don't think that there's
No,
other people
no.
behind.
When you're a young, hungry kid, you see
Yeah,
it. You
I
eat it.
love those, I'm
That's-
gonna take as many as I want.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
What are
Oh, well.
angel eggs compared to deviled eggs?
The name.
Angel's eggs is a deviled egg at church.
They're angel hair.
Is
I
it-
named them.
Yeah.
I bring them all the time, so I thought, I'm not gonna make deviled eggs, I'm gonna call them
Not
angel
gonna
eggs.
make double eggs and take them to
Because
the
of where
church.
she's taking them.
They taste the same.
No, they taste much better. Yours taste much better. Yeah.
Well, there's different recipes. Oh,
So what is your biggest memory of the Monee area? Can you think of anything that was exciting and different and interesting or just quirky that happened here? It's a pretty quiet town, I know.
nothing-
There's
Nothing, oh, yeah,
you found Virgil.
yeah.
That's it. Now
Never-
does that fall under the interesting or quirky?
Right off the top of my
Category.
head, I can't think
Either
of
one.
anything.
Either one.
Either way.
Now, but when you went out to Oklahoma,
Mhm.
you were 18, he was 29.
Mhm.
How long did
I
you
was
know
18
him?
and a half.
18 and a half, yes. How long did you know each other first? Did you?
Not a
was it
lot,
like-
About a week.
no, really, I think it was probably like 5 months or something.
Oh my gosh, so,
Oh, I knew of her though.
yeah, people knew families.
I mean, we hadn't gone together.
Yeah,
We went
Yeah.
together for about,
but you apparently, liked him enough to stay with him. for
I'm easy
so
to get
long.
along with.
Well, at least 60 years.
one thing is, we
I'm
have,
easy to
we have
get
done
along.
things together.
Yeah.
We used to bowl.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
I bowled, he bowled, and like on weekends, on Fridays or Saturday nights, like when Milton Needfeld ran the bowling alley, he would organize, and we'd have teams, maybe a ladies' team and a man's team going to the different towns where they were having tournaments.
Yeah.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
So you
it was
had
good.
tra- yeah.
It was something to do, and it was interesting.
Yeah.
And then after we kind of got weaned from bowling, we took up golf.
Oh, wow.
Well, how we got doing that, because my oldest brother lived out where the golf course in Green Garden is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he worked then for the golf course before they actually even opened,
Yeah.
He was farming that farm
when they
when
bought
they
it.
purchased it.
Yeah,
So he could,
And
well, and Virgil and I, we'd be out there playing golf
Uh-huh.
with my brother and his wife. I can remember wearing my snow boots. It was
Oh my
cold.
goodness.
yeah, 'cause we hadn't played golf ever in our
I
life.
didn't know a thing about
I
golf.
thought it was-
Hey, we thought, we didn't have to pay for it. We were the only 4 people out there, see, it wasn't open
This
yet.
was when
There
they
you go.
were just developing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Why not?
we like to learn how to play golf that way, and then,
Absolutely.
so then, we played with some friends, like after, we would go to different places,
Uh-huh.
and so we've always done things together.
Did you ever take square dancing lessons? Did you ever do square dancing?
No, ballroom.
Ballroom dancing. You're the ballroom.
Well, we did do some square dancing, yes.
Very little.
You
I
just,
can see that. I can see the two of you as
you
square
could just,
dancers.
you could learn
When
a
we
little
look
bit.
square,
We never went to square dances like, a lot.
Right.
Where, like she said, they used to have dancing for weddings,
Yeah.
oh, yeah.
like at the Atrium and Piatone.
Yeah.
Had gone to a lot of those things.
I
Yeah.
remember going to weddings going, man, those old people can dance really well.
Yeah. Because when
Yeah.
we were growing up, you
Well-
didn't learn how to dance so much.
Yeah.
I forget, we went to, this is when Hearst was here.
Uh-huh.
Reverend Hearst was the minister. We went to a dance someplace, a wedding.
I don't
I don't know.
quite remember.
Well, they had some nice music and we did dance quite a bit.
Oh.
You and I can remember Reverend Hearst saying, "Oh my God, you guys are pretty good," he said.
Oh, I remember that.
How he could be the judge, I don't know, but,
But you could shake a tail feather.
but we could do something. There were 6 couples that went to this course down there in Kankakee. And I mean, it did us more good than
Yeah.
any of the other couples,
Mm-hmm.
because
I
we
think
practiced
we
it.
used it.
Yeah.
We used it, yeah, that's what it amounts to,
Yeah.
really.
Well, you have been married for 60 years, and you have had a happy marriage.
Generally
now.
speaking, it's been pretty
For the
good.
most part.
Yeah,
And you
But I
know,
think that's probably wise, because you did so
speaking
many things
about,
together.
a lot of people say it's a hard adjustment when people get married. But we got married in Oklahoma, so we weren't around family, so we had to depend on each other. Maybe
Yeah.
that was a good thing.
I think
Oh,
probably
yeah.
so. I think
You know,
so. You
That's
know,
why I said when you were on your honeymoon, because it is kind of like being
you were,
a,
you were
But,
bonded together.
If you get
without a
upset
lot
with,
outside.
you can't run home to mama.
Right.
You know,
You work
'cause-
it out.
Yeah.
yeah,
And so you adjust. And it was interesting, living in the different parts of the country. You meet different people.
Yeah.
Oh,
it could have been worse.
yeah.
It could have been worse. Well, I think we'll wrap up.
Can I ask a question before
Yeah.
you do that?
Of course.
Actually, so for the decades that you've been here in Monee, since this is going to go in an archive, if you're going to talk to some folks from the future and explain to them what makes Monee so interesting, because it is distinctive, but what comes to mind for you as something you would like other people to know about Monee once time has gone on and, you know, they can't actually be here in this time in this place? What do you think would be interesting for folks to know about this place?
Boy,
No? Over the decades that you've been here and seen the town, seen the township and seen the town.
well, I mean, we found it a good place to live,
Uh-huh,
generally.
uh-huh,
It's not perfect, but
yeah. So
pretty
what,
hard to find a perfect place in this world.
so what is it that made it a good place to live?
Well, years ago, or even today, honesty. You know, people, years ago, we used to leave the farm. This was when I was a kid. We didn't lock the door. You know, the house door was unlocked when we left and it was unlocked when we got home.
Mm-hmm.
But we never missed anything. Nobody ever stole anything. You know, that's all changed. Nowadays, you can't do that anymore. Which is not good, but,
Okay. So community honesty was one of the things that made it a good place to live?
well,
Was there
it certainly didn't hurt.
yeah. Were there other things that made Monee a good place to live? What do you think?
I think Shirley, what, you were gonna say something, Doug?
No, well, no. I'm just thinking about, it's nice to come to a church with, you know, in that sense, whether it's not thousands of people, you learn, you get to know everybody, and it's just, it is like a nice big family.
It is, yeah, you're right. It
Yeah.
is.
That's what's,
Yeah,
Okay.
you know,
Yeah.
I mean, hey, we'll always take new members, but you get to know them slowly, and
Mhm.
it's just nice,
it is, it's like a big extended family, and
Right.
maybe Monee was like that
yeah,
in the days gone by
Yeah.
more than it is now.
right.
Yeah,
That it was,
Yeah.
you knew
Right.
everybody, you knew your neighbors,
I
you
mean, I
were
was just
related
thinking,
in some way
You know,
to,
comparing this church that we got, where we got married in Oklahoma, I mean, it was a huge, huge church. And this little chapel, well, I don't know, how big would you say? It was like from about here to there, at least, you know,
Big
that
as this
church had
room.
a chapel.
right,
Well, you know, we don't have a chapel here, but I doubt if everybody knew everybody in that church.
right,
Mhm.
right, yeah, yeah.
And which is, it's kinda nice living in a small town that way, where I think you get to know more people overall.
I think, yeah, I agree, I think so.
And what do you think gave the town that quality, that tone? What is it that let it develop the way it did? So that,
well, I think the fact that the church is here,
okay,
you know, and there's more churches,
mm-hmm,
but,
Yeah, we live in Peatone, and there's nice people there, and they had same kind of church as we here, but I guess we just enjoy coming back because this is our family.
right,
Mhm.
yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I think right at the beginning of the interview, we started it out with, I don't know what we were talking about, but we said, you know, it's home. There's
Mhm.
no place like home, and that really
Right.
makes a difference, the continuity of having people that knew you when. They knew you when you were 20, and they knew you when you were 5. and
Right, right.
they watched out for you, and you looked out for them,
Mhm.
and it's, you know, nothing you even think about, I think, in some
Right,
ways. You
yeah.
take it for granted, kind of,
Mhm.
but it's part of who you are. It's
Right,
part of
yeah.
the fabric of your being, is that this is,
I mean,
this
I
is your
didn't
town.
grow up in Monee, but I've been a member of this church for a lot
Right
of
a while.
years. Yeah, a lot of years. I think I joined in '56 probably, and, you know, because we came home in October, was it? '56?
October 56.
I probably joined in December or November or
yeah, right.
something.
so,
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was Reverend Krause.
Yeah, I remember him just a little
Yeah.
bit, because I was
Mhm.
a kid in the 50s, but
Mhm,
I remember Reverend Krause, and then, of course, Reverend Clun.
mhm.
and you say you didn't grow up in Monee, I didn't quite catch, where did you grow up exactly?
I'm sorry, I
You
didn't,
said you didn't grow up in Monee, so.
no, I lived by
Oh,
Pietro.
so you were, yeah.
In the country. So you
And
live in
that's
the
where we
country.
live today,
Yeah.
in town. in
We live
Pitt.
in town, but
You live in town,
I
yeah.
grew up on a
Grew
farm.
up on a farm out there.
Mhm.
I wonder too if just that whole idea of the farming community, because you have very hardworking people that really enjoy the community of the church. which kind of held it together,
Mhm.
Mhm.
you know?
Yeah.
Because out on the farm, you don't necessarily see everybody every day, every week,
Mhm.
you know? You come to church and you see your neighbors and, you know.
Mhm.
Well, and it's the time that everybody can socialize because you've worked hard for 5 or 6 days during the week,
Right,
and now you
yeah.
have a little bit of time to
Yeah,
get to know your neighbors and to chat
Mhm.
and things. So.
my father was a person that, he didn't do much on Sundays. I mean, he didn't believe in working on Sundays on the farm.
Mhm.
Naturally, he'd have to milk his cows and so on. But he just
You
didn't do that very
you
much.
did remember the Sabbath. It was.
Yes, he did.
Yeah,
I think
you
I
did.
remember my dad saying his dad brought in hay one Sunday, and the twine got so gefuffled into the works that he never did it again, because it was like he
That
felt
was-
like the Lord was
He knew.
telling him just to.
He knew he wasn't.
I mean,
Yeah.
and when I grew up, you don't mow your lawn on Sunday.
Mhm.
You don't hang out the laundry.
You don't hang out the
Oh,
laundry on
no.
Sunday.
No, you do not hang out the laundry on a Sunday.
Monday is wash day.
Mhm.
I had the hardest time converting to doing some laundry on Sunday because I just had needs, but it was hard.
Yeah, it's ingrained.
Well, we don't do anything on Sunday.
No, it's
No.
ingrained.
Not very
You do
much,
that.
we haven't done a
You
lot.
take you take a day of rest like the Lord told us to.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you have any other questions?
No, thank you, this has been
We
wonderful.
probably didn't answer these very well. but-
No.
You were wonderful.
I
You answered
appreciate it,
everything.
Actually, yes,
Yeah.
that was
It,
very
it was
nice.
very, I was delighted to get to know you guys better because I.
Really?
Yes.
Absolutely.
yes.
Thank you.
Yes, it
Absolutely.
was a very wonderful time.
So thank you very much. And we'll
Yeah.
see you Sunday in church.
You're welcome.
Lord
We,
willing.
Okay.
we intend to be
And
here.
we always say, and the creeks don't rise.
And the creek don't rise.